Damn. My brother fucked me up. In the middle of Brooklyn, New York in 2002, James Murphy founded a band called LCD Soundsystem. Then they would later on go to release 4 studio albums. So LCD Soundsystem is often called one of the best dance electronic pop bands of all time, and I will admit to that. Before their first album, they released the song Losing My Edge, which was an instant smash, and as well as Dance Punk is Playing at My House. On these songs, they introduced us to their iconic sound of synths, guitars, bass, and really cool rhythmic patterns that are heavily inspired by Talking Heads. Now, we'll be talking more about the Talking Head inspirations in later songs, but first let's dive into their first album, LCD Soundsystem. This album was released in 2005 and was a pretty successful first album. So the first song on their first album is Daft Punk is Playing at My House.
Daft Punk is playing at my house, my house.
So this song was released beforehand, so people have already listened to it, but this is one that really put them already like on the spot a little bit, and it's got just classic LCD Soundsystem sounds to it, you know, driving synths. Again, it's dance pop, it's electronic pop, and this is foreshadowing what they would later on master. So this first song gets 8.5 out of 10. Then the second song, Too Much Love.
What will you say when the day comes?
Now this time, James Murphy is doing a talkish type of vocals instead of just straight up singing. I think it kind of brings the vibe down a little bit from Daft Punk is Playing at My House. I still think it's solid though, and it's a good second song for the first album, 7 out of 10. So the third song is Tribulations. Now this one has a really heavy synth sound to it, as well as it kind of revives the energy back, which is much needed after kind of a down song. Now LCD Soundsystem, they don't do a lot of guitar solos, but when they do, they're really either simple and smart, or they're really clever in what they're doing and where they're placing the song, and this is a prime example of that. And then it is pretty catchy, so I'd give it an 8 out of 10. Then that brings to Movement. So Movement has this really unique pattern to it, especially like it's like a movement, and it's like talkish, but it's also so good and super catchy, and always just like an infectious beat to it. I would give this probably an 8 out of 10. It's a pretty good song to that. Never As Tired As When I'm Waking Up. This song is literally like a Pink Floyd sounding song. Like it's just straight up influences like that. It's kind of bad, but kind of not at the same time, because it sees different vocal sounds for James Murphy, and I don't like it a lot. It also has the weirdest fuck in the world. I don't know what. It's just like so sensual. It's so fucking creepy too. I don't know. Anyway, 6 out of 10. On Repeat. So this is a classic LCD song. Like there's nothing much to be said about this, and it's just their sound to it, and that's just the sound they have. I would give it a 7 out of 10. Then that gets us at Thrills. So Thrills is really weird, because when I first listened to it, I was like, oh, this is actually dog shit. But now I think it's okay, I guess. It kind of reminds me of You Won't Get What You Want by Daughters. That kind of like the vocals in the way. It's not for everybody, so it gets 7 out of 10. Then that leads to Disco Infiltrator. So at this point of the album, we know the sound, we know where songs are going. So to release another, or to put another song on that sounds the same, it's a little bit boring, and it kind of brings the album to a stop. So the song gets a 7 out of 10. Again, I think it just has the same elements of every LCD Soundsystem song so far, and there's no like new thing that Murphy is adding or other band members are adding to it. And that gets to Great Release. So Great Release is different in the fact that it's super, super simple. What it is it's a change in sound that is very much needed at this point, and this is the conclusion of the first half of the double album. And Murphy's singing is also very nice, but again, it's different to it's a refreshing sound to hear. 8.5 out of 10. Then that gets to one of their most popular songs again, Losing My Edge.
I'm losing my edge. I'm losing my edge.
So this song is all huge Talking Heads influence to it. It's James Murphy's not really singing that much, but what he's singing about is the coolest part of the song. He's singing about not being cool anymore and not having an edge to him. And he mentions bands and other things in his life that he'd noticed that he's like, I'm not making songs that are different than them, which is really hard to say for a band that is as new as they were, and to put that on your first album, it's really smart. I love it a lot. 9 out of 10. Then that gets to Beat Connection.
Everybody here is afraid of fun, and nobody's getting any play.
So this song is just too long. LCD Soundsystem likes to have longer songs, you know. This one's just too long for the chorus that is average and low-key lame. It's not worth it to listen to. Like some things like You Wanted a Hit, or it's not worth it listening to the instrumentals before it. It's 6 out of 10. Then it leads to Give It Up.
You got to give it up if you wanna live it up.
This song's just about money. There's not much to be said about this song again. It's a short song for LCD Soundsystem, clocking in under 4 minutes. I will say though, the last minute, even though it's short, it gets boring quickly, and that's something that, at this point, as this far into an album, it's really slows it down to a halt. It gets a 6.5 out of 10. Then that leads to Tired. Dear God, this song sucks. There's like, the mixing is weird. Like James Murphy is like quiet. I don't know. Hopefully this influenced Ain't Yourself Clean, because this song's terrible. Like you can't even. I was looking up and like people just have the wrong lyrics to this song. It just fucking sucks. It's 4 out of 10. And that leads to Yeah. I mean, what the hell is this? It's just a bunch of yeahs, like, and I don't know, it's just so, it's long, it's like 7 minutes long, it's boring. I'm not listening to the pretentious mix, it's 9 minutes, and it's just gonna be a bunch of more fucking yeahs, like, fucking write lyrics, damn. And those two songs aren't even the worst LCD Soundsystem song, but damn, that one gets a 5.5 out of 10 at most. So damn boring. And then Your City's a Sucker closes out the album.
Your city's a sucker. Your city's a sucker. Your city's a sucker.
Now this one is long again. It takes a little bit to get through. But I do like some parts of it. I think it's a pretty solid closer. I think it's much better than the last two songs, but it's still lacking that element that we know LCD Soundsystem has. And with their next two albums that we're talking about, though that is LCD Soundsystem, this album has moments of them, but some songs aren't them. And like Tired is just dog shit. This song, Your City's a Sucker, is a 7 out of 10. So overall, the first half of this album carries a lot more second half. The second half drags and it's boring and it has lame ass vocals and shit. Like I really can't give this thing anywhere over a 7 out of 10 because of the second half. The first half would have been like a 7.5, but the second half is like a 5.5, and that's I'm not gonna say disappointing it because it's their first album, but that's not the LCD Soundsystem we know. And on their next album that we're gonna be talking about, this album sucks compared to the next album. So yeah, I would give it a 7 out of 10 just because there are some pretty banger songs on here. And then next up is Sound of Silver. This album was released in 2007, and it features the best LCD Soundsystem song. Actually, the two best LCD Soundsystem songs. And man, it's a banger and a masterpiece. Let's get into it. So the first song is Get Innocuous. So Get Innocuous, again, is literally a Talking Head song with just James Murphy's personal influences on it, and I love it a lot. I love the vocals and how they're like kind of like dubbed a little bit, I think, or how they're low. It reminds me a lot of Born Under Punches by Talking Heads. And I swear we're only going to mention Talking Heads like 5 more times. 9 out of 10. Then that leads to Time to Get Away.
It's time to get away. It's time to get away from you.
Now, Time to Get Away is heavily carried by the guitars and the bass. Murphy's vocals are okay. I think it's probably the worst part about the song. And I think it's just kind of a little bit boring in general as well. But this album is on a different level than the last one was. So boring isn't bad. It's just not, compared to the rest of the album, this song is boring, but it gets an 8 out of 10 anyway. That leads to North American Scum. This song demonstrates Murphy's like tongue-in-cheek lyrics, talking about how they're not from England and they're from America, and then also criticizing America and calling us scum. It's really clever. I like it a lot. I think it's also pretty bold, but and then it also shows off LCD Soundsystem's. It also shows that they're close to perfecting their sound, and this is fantastic. 9 out of 10. And that leads to Someone Great. Now, when you first hear Someone Great, you don't think it's the saddest LCD Soundsystem song because the synths are so lush and so soft, and Murphy's vocals are a little bit it doesn't sound sad right away. But when you learn about the lyrics, look at the lyrics and you learn about the actual song, you realize that this song has one of the saddest stories to it of all. It's about Murphy's therapist's death, and he sings, and it keeps coming, and it keeps coming. And it keeps coming until the day it stops. And talking about life in that way after your therapist died, it's really smart. It's so clever. It's beautiful. He's just telling a story about hearing about his therapist's death, and then singing about life in general. And this song is so fucking good. It's really great. 9.5 out of 10. And that gets to All My Friends. Yes! Fuck yeah. All My Friends is their best song for sure. This is them going all out with all of their best shit. Every single person is doing their best shit. The piano is fire, the fucking drums, the bass, the guitar, and then Murphy, and then the lyrics are talking about getting old. Man, this song is, LCD Soundsystem cannot make a better song than this, and this is their best song they've released ever. And that final verse is so good. Like, my dream is to, and I'll mention this later, is to go to an LCD Soundsystem live concert and hear this song because of that final verse. Like, I've watched the Madison Square Garden one, and damn, to be there, that would have been crazy. Anyway, this song gets a 10 out of 10. It's literally perfection. Fucking good. And then Us v Them follows. Now, it's impossible to follow up on a song like that. Only way you can do that is by making a song even better, and that's not possible because it's a perfect song. I like the part where he's like, to think I used to pity you. I like that a lot. It's cool. The song is 8.5 out of 10. Then Watch the Tape follows.
Read all the pamphlets and watch the tapes. Read all the pamphlets and watch the tapes.
Now, this song is the worst song on the album, and it brings the energy down, but I kind of like it, but at the same time, it's not very catchy. It's very short too. I'd give it a 7 out of 10, and I think they could have left this off the album, and the album would have actually been better. And that leads to Sound of Silver.
Sound of silver, talk to me, makes you want to feel like a teenager.
So for the title track, we hear the same lyrics. Sound of Silver, talk to me, make you want to feel like a teenager until you get feelings of a real life teenager. I forgot how it goes, but I used to hate that part a lot, but then I listened to it again. I listened to it more, and it gets catchy, and you start grooving with it. And this song has grown on me a lot, because I used to hate it a lot. And then at the end, I love this. The piano, one chord, one chord, right? And you won't hear anything again. And then it'll do it again, and it'll be quiet, and it'll fade out. Then one more time, and it's great. 9 out of 10. And then to finish out the album, they close it up with the piano ballad, New York, I Love You, But You're Bringing Me Down.
New York, you're safer, and you're wasting my time.
And you guys know I love 6/8 songs. And this song is the perfect 6/8 song. The piano is absolutely beautiful. Murphy's beautiful. The guitars and the bass too. And it's just a fantastic song. It's another perfect song. And then they build up, and then like when they're going all out, beautiful, and they stop and they go all out again. Like, if you haven't seen New York, I Love You, But You Bring Me Down at Madison Square Garden, it's their final song that they were going to sing in their final concert of, all time. This song pays so much homage to New York City and to the whole band, and it's a perfect ending song to literally any album or literally any event because it's so melancholy and it leaves you wanting more. This song's a 10 out of 10. So overall, well, most of the album is close to perfection, or in some cases perfection, but I do think some of the songs, like Time to Get Away and Watch the Tapes, do drag it down, and I think they should have replaced it with maybe a different song, and hopefully that would have been better, or just removed it entirely in the case of Watch the Tapes. And because of that, I can't give this album a 10 out of 10. I would give it ranges on the day and how I'm feeling. It's definitely a 9. I'm thinking between like a 9.2 to a 9.5. It's so close to perfection. LC Soundsystem does have room to grow, and we know that because of their next album, This Is Happening. This Is Happening was released in 2010 with the news that this would be the last LCD Soundsystem album. After this album, they were going to be done. This was it. And as sad as that was to hear, this album would have been the perfect ending point to any band in any genre ever because it's literally perfect. And that starts off with Dance Yourself Clean. So Dance Yourself Clean is it's a little bit of a boring song. It doesn't have much to it. It's just a regular song. And if you can't tell, I'm kidding, because the song is actually fucking fire. That bass drop the beat drop is insane. And then having Murphy mixed back and quiet and then building up, because you have to turn it up. You have to turn the volume all the way the fuck up. And then once you do and then the bass and the beat drop and you get blown the fucking back. Like, the car will tip the fuck over. I'm not even kidding with you. I love the part where he goes, go and dance yourself clean, yeah. That's awesome. And then he also he holds this long note, really long out. This song is fucking crazy. And like, I know you have to watch it live. My dream in life is to see this song live because I don't even know how I'd react to hearing that beat drop. It's that good. And I've seen someone say, I lost my shit when I heard the beat drop. And the second time I listened to the song, I lost my shit because I knew it was coming. And that beat drop hits every single time again. Your car will tip the fuck over. This song's a 10 out of 10, and again, another perfect song from them. And then one of their shortest songs ever, Drunk Girls, follows up. So Drunk Girls is, I think they're just fucking around, honestly. I don't even know what I do know the point of the song is, because they're comparing drunk girls and drunk boys in like a tongue-in-cheek style. It sounds like they're just fucking having fun. Like, why the fuck not just write a song about this? And the vocals and shit and The drumming and the guitars, it's fantastic. I love it. 9 out of 10. That is one of the worst songs on the album. Then it gets to One Touch. Yesterday I was sitting in the car and I was listening to this album again just to really get my thoughts on if this album is really perfect, because for an album to be perfect, it has to be perfect, right? Not very many of those exist. This is one of the songs where I was thinking this might drag it down, and I listened to it and I almost skipped it, but then it starts growing on you, and it's got such a Talking Head influence, and it's got such a groovy beat that I listened to it and I was like, this is fire. This shit is good. And I originally gave it an 8 out of 10, but I think I have to give it a 9 out of 10 because of how infectious it is and because of how the chorus is so cool. And it's a unique song and it's a different sound. And man, good song. Get a 9 out of 10. Then that leads into a 4-song run that is just phenomenal, starting with All I Want. So All I Want, at its core, is a basic love song about wanting to be with somebody. And it has a huge influence on David Bowie. It literally is James Murphy's version of Heroes. Has the same chord progression, same guitar in the background, just driving it forward. But this song is so catchy, and I love, again, I'm talking about a little bit of pity in there. And Murphy's vocals are amazing. This song is 10 out of 10 again. Again, these songs are the best LCD songs that literally they have released outside of New York I Love You and All My Friends. And that leads to I Can Change. Now, I Can Change is a super heavy synth song. It's pretty much driven by synths. I think there might be a drumming in there if I remember. I can't hear everything. The best thing about this song is the lyrics and James Murphy again. This song is about changing yourself for somebody that you're in love with so they can love you back, or changing yourself in the relationship so that they're feeling better. And again, I love when people sing about heartbreak and love in a different way. And I think the contrasting with how happy and upbeat the song sounds, it's so clever, it's so genius, it gets a 10 out of 10. Then that leads to You Wanted a Hit.
You wanted a hit, but maybe we don't do hits. I try and try, it ends up feeling kind of wrong.
So like I said earlier, You Wanted a Hit it takes a long ass time to build up, but it's so worth it. I think it doesn't even, there's no singing until like 3.5 minutes into the song. And initially it's all just synth stuff, but then you hear the drums coming in, then you hear the guitar, and it's so fucking good. This song pulls you in, and you don't mind waiting 3.5 minutes to hear it, because unlike other songs and unlike future songs, this song pays off very well. It's about how they don't want to write hits for music labels. They don't want to write hits. They want to write what they want to write. They don't want to be the music label's babies. And I love using that as a metaphor. I'm struggling between a 9 and a 9.5 out of 10 because this song, I'm thinking 9.5. It's just so good and it's so infectious and it's just so pure perfection and classic LCD Soundsystem. And that leads to Pow Pow. This might be the last time I'm talking about the Talking Heads, because this song is, the beat to it, at the core of the beat is just Talking Heads straight up. And then Murphy over top, not really singing, but again, speaking vocals is so good. And then he'll go into some singing, like for an instance, and that lyric right there and that little phrase, try to push through, but it's a compromise. Anyway, I forgot how it goes, but that little part when he's going singing again, And then he goes on this like little rant in the middle of the song, and I don't really know. I haven't looked too much into what it's about, but he mentions the president and he mentions a magazine and stuff, and that's, I don't know. It sounds good, so this song gets a 9 out of 10. And then Somebody's Calling Me. This song, I'm stuck between it because I like it, but it's not upbeat and it drags things out along. It's very slow and very drudgy. And I think outside the album, this song is fine. And I don't know if I should rate it based on how it is in the actual album or how it is in the actual song. I think I'm going to do it based on the song form, because I'm not talking about Is This Happening as a whole. I'm talking about every LCD Soundsystem song. So I would give it an 8 out of 10. But again, the vocals and the guitars are very just drawn out and super slow, and it's very simple. I do like the core rhythm to it. I think it's an alright song. Then that leads to the final track to this masterpiece, Home.
Just do it right, make it perfect and real. Because it's everything, though everything was never the deal.
Now Home starts off beautiful. Man, Home is just such an ending song. Like, there's no other ending song. Well, I mean, besides New York, I Love You, but you're bringing me down. But this song is just so like melancholy, plus nostalgic, and I love the ahs in it too. It kind of like remind me a little bit of Dance Yourself Clean. This song is so good. It gets a 10 out of 10 again. There's so many 10 out of 10s on this album. So overall, Sign of Silver was a fantastic second album. But then on their third album, LCD Soundsystem jumped the bar even higher and released a 10 out of 10. I mean, this is happening is just so catchy, and it's just engaging, and it's just, the lyrics are great, the synths are great. You know, every single person, because we have to shout out every single person in the band, they make it sound so good together. And this is happening, and Sound of Silver cements himself as the best dance electronic pop band of all time, because they just released crazy song after crazy song. And this album just gets better and better and better and better as you listen to it. I don't even care that Somebody's Calling Me is a slow song. I love everything a lot about it. Again, it's very engaging, and it brings you in. It brings you into their land, and like you're just stuck there. It's like crack cocaine. And this is exactly what I would think this is like a drug form of, like, again, I don't even know what I'm saying, but it's drugs. So after this is happening, the band did one more tour, the Madison Square Garden tour again, the one that's fucking insane. Like, yeah, you gotta watch it. And we thought they were all done. You know, they were releasing albums in every 2 to 3 years, and then 2013 hit, nothing. 2014 hit, nothing. 15 hit, nothing. And then in 2016, they released a Christmas song called Christmas Will Break Your Heart. And as I've already talked about, song on my Christmas song list, it's the best Christmas song out there. And they used this to tease their new album, American Dream. American Dream was released in 2017. And honestly, it's a disappointment. And there are some songs in here that make me want to beat the fuck out of the fucking wall, because some of these songs piss me off so much. But then some of them are just, again, just fire. So let's get into it. So LCD Soundsystem fools you with their first song, Oh Baby. This song has nice and lush synths and a really beautiful vocal melody to it. I love it a lot. It's a great start. But like I said, they fool you because this is one of the best songs on the album. And then after this, it's just dog shit. So they lure you into thinking this album's gonna be good, and they give you hope. And then they just fucking crush it because they just, I don't even know. Again, this is gonna piss me the fuck off. Anyway, this song gets a 9 out of 10. Other Voices is their second song. Again, this song, This song sucks. This song's like, damn, 5th grader made this shit. I don't know what they're doing. And then James Murphy goes, tell them, Nancy. And then she says some fucking cringy ass shit. I don't know what the hell is going on in this song. The decent thing to the song is when they all sing all their voices, but then the rest of it is just fucking boring. And this album in general is just so damn boring. Like, I don't know what the hell are they doing? But this song sucks. But I guess it's still a little bit enjoyable until Nancy comes in. And I'm not even saying that she can't sing. I'm saying what the fuck she's saying. If James Murphy said that shit too, I'd roast the fuck out of him too, because this shit sounds terrible. I don't know why you think it's a good idea. I don't know who in the band decided to leave that in, and why no one said, hey, this shit sucks. Anyway, like I said, 5 out of 10. Then I Used To follows. Thankfully, I Used To is a solid song. Thank God. It gets a little bit of hope back into us. The chorus to it is pretty catchy. All the rest of the song is like a little bit boring, but it's good enough to where you're gonna listen to it and you're gonna be like, okay, hopefully it'll grow on me. You know, that's what you're thinking, right? It'll grow on me. But it still doesn't have that punch that they had. It's still lacking, and it's a mediocre song. 6.5 out of 10. And then Change Your Mind follows.
I have a penny for your thoughts.
Fuck, this song is so damn boring. It's the same fucking shit over and over again. It doesn't build. It's so fucking boring. It's got this weird ass line, a penny for your thoughts, this weird ass fucking guitar. I don't get it. I don't like it. The guitar sounds terrible. The vocals sound terrible. Again, what are you doing? This song's terrible. At first I was thinking 5 out of 10, but now I'm thinking about this song truly, I don't know. I'm gonna stick with 5 out of 10 just because I don't want to shit on. Well, I don't know. Anyway, it's 5 out of 10. That's what I'm saying. It's whatever. Next song. So How'd You Sleep follows. So this song is just way too damn long. Like, this song is not that good enough to listen to all of it all the way through. Same for the future. I was too harsh on this. It is not too long. I think instead it gets like a 7.5. I was lying. I'd like the ending and like the chorus a lot more, and it's pretty catchy. Now the verse is actually pretty okay. It gets a little catchy, and that's why it gets the 6 out of 10. And then Tonight continues the mediocrity.
Touch me, we maybe realize what it is we need.
This song has, again, it's a little boring. You get a pow feel to it. I don't know. I haven't listened to this song too much. I think it's boring. I don't want to trash it too much, but 6 out of 10. And that leads to Call the Police. Finally, thank you. Finally, a decent song on this album. The album has great drive to it and a great vibe to it, and I actually love James Murphy's vocals and the melody. This is a very much needed back on pace song. It feels like an actual LCD Soundsystem song. 8 out of 10. Then that leads to Emotion. Oh my God, no, it's not. Then that leads to American Dream. American Dream is their saddest sounding song out there. And it's about the stale and boringness of life. Like, I was actually depressed for a couple days after listening to this song. Because they talk about, you need to find a job where people expect you to be depressed. No, you don't have to explain why you are depressed. That's a really smart lyric. And this song is thankfully good. And it's up there with their best song on the album. And I'm glad that they have moments like this, but I wish they would just release it as singles, especially after hearing this next song, Emotional Haircut.
It seems that I've
Holy fuck. Emotional Haircut is dog shit. This song is the worst song. One of the worst things I've ever heard of anything. Like, my god. First of all, the fucking Emotional Haircut line is just like, what the hell are you guys talking about? It's so lame. It sounds terrible. It's so uncatchy. Again, I don't know why not one fucking person in the studio was like, this sounds like dog shit. One person had to been thinking that. There's no way a whole band like this could have released a song as shit as this and no one been like, oh, this sounds like dog shit. We need to get this off the album because this is gonna ruin the album. And it almost does, because this song is pissing me off and I don't even want to listen to the next song, because the next song is 12 minutes long and the 6-minute songs on the album have been boring as is. So how am I gonna listen to double that? And oh my good god, this song is, again, one of the worst songs I've ever heard. It sounds like a damn baby made this song. A baby could have made this shit song. Alright, anyway. It gets a 1 out of 10. A 1 out of 10 just because it makes me feel something, and that's anger. Anyway, yeah, okay. Then that leads to Black Screen. It's 12 fucking minutes. It's way too fucking long. I don't even give a shit. It's this album has been so damn boring and so disappointing. I can't. I'm done. Fuck this band. Shit sucks. So yeah, overall Emotional Dream is... Oh, fuck. So yeah, overall, American Dream is just a huge disappointment. I thought it was okay, but then I listened to it more and... Gosh, it just sucks. It sounds bad. Like, they should have just left this... They should have just left it alone and released singles and not released this mediocre album. I don't want to give it anything lower than a 6 just because I feel bad, I guess. I don't know, but I don't know. I'll give it a 5.5 to 6 just because there's some good moments on this. Also, what the fuck is the album cover? Look at this shit. A fucking baby made this shit. It's a picture of a sky with the words on it. All the other ones have been good, right? But then you get this shit. Like, this shit looks like it took them 2 seconds to make. Do something better. Come on. Oh my god. So even with American Dream being terrible, LCD Soundsystem is still a fucking good band. Damn, they've released some bangers. Like, when that beat hits on Dance Yourself Clean, like, it'll crush you. Again, it'll blow the car away. This band has some of the best songs I've ever heard in my life, followed by some of the worst songs I've ever heard. Now, I will say, might be a little bit too harsh on American Dream, but I just don't like it. I think compared to the other three, Emotional Dream doesn't fit in. It doesn't sound like them. It sounds like a regression. And again, I'm just disappointed in that. But I want to talk about the good parts and the good moments of this band. Sound of Silver and This Is Happening are legitimate masterpieces and like some of the best albums of all time. You have to listen to them. There's no way you can not listen to some of their songs. But anyway, that will wrap up the video. Again, you gotta listen to this band. So many great things about them. My barber fucked my hair up. Anyway, I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. See you.